Hey BladeHQ, today we're out on the river. We got Tyler here. He's going to show us some survival fishing tips.
So what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to use the things on your person in order to make usable fishing lures. For instance, use some 550 cord, some paracord to make hooks. We're going to also show you how to scavenge for stuff as you're walking along and use that to supplement what you've already got. And we're also going to show you some of the things that you should probably bring along with you in a small kit, a little fishing kit and stuff like that. It'll help you to fish in multiple places so that you can do other things like, I don't know, get rescued in the process.
All right, let's get started.
All right. So just about anywhere you go on this planet, unfortunately, there's junk. People leave junk everywhere. So one thing to think about is in a river, where's that stuff going to stack up at? And right here, I've got a lot of wood stacked up, which means the river's gonna stack up the other stuff that it scrapes along. So as I come walking along, I can see there's all sorts of garbage in here. Shiny things I might be able to use to attract fish with, okay? There's fishing line. A lot of times if you walk and look far enough, you're gonna find stuff like this that people have left behind you. Right there is the first portion of what I would need to do some survival fishing. If I completely spaced it or for whatever reason fell out of the sky with nothing, I've got a way to come up with some equipment. Now, if I was smart enough to go to BladeHQ and get a survival fishing kit beforehand, wouldn't have this problem. But if we do, you can kind of collect it. And also, as you can see down here, I saw this, it was coming earlier, there's a little lure hanging on that tree branch right there. Where's Paul when I need him to reach in the river for me? Now this isn't my ideal type of hook, but I found it and it's good to go. One other thing that you can look for, especially for fly fishing lures, and any of you who have been fly fishing know exactly what I'm talking about. If you look right on the trees hanging like this, a lot of fly fishermen will cast their lure out and hook it on the other side of the river. They'll try to pull it off and just bust it off in the tree, and rather than go wading out through the river and try to get off that tree, they'll just leave it there. So in just a few minutes, you can come up with a minimum necessary amount of fishing gear just from trash that people have left on the side of the river and stuff. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a Indian fish trap. Indian fish traps should be put in sandy areas that you find fish that will swim into reeds and not get out. BladeHQ has given me this phenomenal Mora of Sweden blade. It's got a Scandinavian grind on it, which makes it perfect for cutting trees and so forth. This is a great Boy Scout knife. It's good, cheap, and well built, especially for the price. So I've got a little hole right here where there's some skeeters, some bugs and stuff here. And I'm gonna start filling it in with my sticks. And if you're in a really rocky area, you can weave some of these sticks together and make a mat. In fact, I'll do some of that real quick. And all you do is run over and under and over and under with your sticks. Okay, now I've got a little bit of a wall right there. Slam it into the ground. Okay, so what I'm gonna wanna start doing is make the line come back just a little bit like this so the fish can swim in that little hole. So these green guys right here, they're kind of brushy. I'm gonna leave the twigs on them to help the fish stay inside the area. One-way directional like that. Okay, one more little gate and they'll swim in and hang out right here. And if you've got any kind of rotten food or anything, drop it in there, especially if you're in an area where they have catfish and suckers and stuff. Okay, so this is my Indian fish trap. Now I want to add a little bit more green on the sides just to keep them from coming in, but the idea behind this is basically this. So my fish comes swimming in, comes in here to eat whatever I left in there, and if I've got it tight enough to dependent upon the size of the fish. Okay, he's just gonna stay there. He's gonna chill, hang out in this area. Just needs enough space to squeeze in and do his thing. And then all I need to do is come back where my baited area is and scoop him out. Now, if you take more time and use 100% of these green flexible ones, you can do a really tight mesh and size it however you want. And that's basically how you make an Indian fish trap. There's a lot of situations where you may just have a hook, just a hook, and no bait or anything. Fortunately, I found a completed hook or a complete lure here, but let's say I just found that little hook piece. Well, what do? We can just take a hook all by itself and turn it into a lure with a little bit of 550 cord. So you get the hook, you take a little piece of 550 cord, you measure it just about the length of the hook. All right, put my thumb right there. A nice, super sharp molar here that we were chopping trees down with earlier. Okay, so I've cut a little piece of this 550 cord off, paracord if you want to call it that. What I'm going to do, slide it over the end of my hook. So basically now, what I've got is a little bit of 550 cord sheathing on my hook. What I'm going to do is just either use a knife or scrape it. Till I unweave all of those little lines. Okay, all I did was throw a little baby hitch right on the tip of that hook. Ideally, you melt it on it, okay? You don't have fire yet, you just tie it on there nice and snug. Now as I finish scraping this clean, so now I've got a nice splayed out chunk of fuzz. When this gets wet, it lays down. Kind of looks like a fly for fly fishing. So I've got this stuff, it's called blackout paracord with fishing line. It is exclusive to BladeHQ. So what I've done is tended it in a nice loop. I got a little chunk here hanging out. Can go ahead and cut that. Now if you look on the inside of this, we got some strands and some fishing line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this fishing line out and we're going to use it with the hook that we found. There we go. All right, let's process Mr. Man here. So we're going to process him real quick to show you that this Mora is highly capable of more than just chopping trees down. So first thing you want to do with the fish is kill it. You don't need to, the fish doesn't need to feel that process. Put your blade right there. Okay, that chop right there, it's dead. Okay, the quiver you get afterward is muscle reactions. The fish is done. Okay, so all I did was I cut the spine right here, right? The hole right there, you just hold it down. You can hold it with your hand, however you want to do it. Okay, you're basically going to get the guts out of it. Okay, I'm going to wash them off a little bit so you can see a little bit better what's going on. So what you'll do is you'll split open You get all the guts and stuff out of it. You can take the head off. One way too. Now for survival, you don't have to take the scales off. You can actually cook the scales and peel it open and eat it from the inside. But if you want to scale a fish, just hold it down. Use the back of your blade. Scales them off real easy like that. Okay, so I've got it split. What I'm gonna do, just run my thumb right up the inside of it like that. Gets rid of all the entrails and stuff. This is good bait. If you're gonna catch more fish, it's illegal to use chum, so unless you're in a survival situation, do it. But if you are going to, try not to drop your fish. If you are gonna keep on fishing, use the guts, use these little egg sacs, and it makes a really good bait. Okay, I'm running my thumb up the spine. There's some blood in there you need to get out. Okay, if you want to take the head off, just keep chopping like that. And there's the good part of the meat. And then you'll get a stick, get a cross stick, pin it open like that, and then cook it just like that over a fire. And that's how you do some survival fishing.